All right, welcome into another episode of Power Five Picks. We are on to week 10. It's crazy that it's that far in the season, but yeah, we're down the later stretch. First college football playoff rankings just came out. We don't really talk about that here, but the rankings are adjusted for that. It's kind of weird seeing Georgia now at 2, Michigan at 3. I'm used to Michigan being 2, but so those are all out. Obviously, they mean nothing the first week, but yeah, we got an exciting week this week, which makes up for last week. Some big games, big games. We're going to find out a lot. Obviously, we're going to learn a little bit more as the season keeps going on. But yeah, some big games with some big complications in regards to the playoffs and how we feel about teams and the standings. So initial thought, Ethan. What do you think about these 5 games we selected? How confident are you? How do you feel about them?
Well, I like the slate better than the NFL slate. I'll give you that much. Yeah, should be an exciting weekend of football. I think I like these games just a touch better than last week's games. I know you and I both weren't super high on last week. Um, so not my favorite slate from a betting perspective. But as far as a watching perspective, yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. Also, can't believe it's already week 10 in college football. I don't know where the time went. It felt like week 10 of baseball took like 6 years. Uh, yeah, football just flies by. So it's unfortunate, but looking forward to this weekend for sure.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And I know you kind of are done with the football season as a Michigan State fan. I'm, right there in it. Obviously, there's some stuff going on with Michigan, but yeah, I wish it would stay a little longer. It's crazy that we got a couple more games off. It's already November. Season ends November 25th, regular season. So 4 more weeks and then conference championship. So yeah, it's crazy. Quick recap. Biggest news: our records are now tied. You're 13-11-1. I am 13-11-1. Last week you went 3-2, and I went shockingly 4-1. Last week we both won the Oregon bet. You were on the right side of Louisville. You were on the wrong side of Kentucky and Oregon State, and then we were both on Wisconsin. I predicted Duke, who did not win, but I was on the right side of Tennessee and Arizona. Arizona beat Oregon State. Arizona's a weird team. I don't really know, and Oregon State was a little overrated. I don't think they might be in the teens. I'm not sure where they ended up in the rankings, but yeah, still overall pretty good weekend. We are both positive now. I was the one that was lagging a little bit behind, but 13-11-1, I believe, is a little bit of profit if you are taking -110 bets. So let's continue that momentum into this weekend with our first matchup, a big Big 12 matchup between Kansas State, who's number 23, traveling to number 7 Texas. Texas is a 4-point favorite at home. Over under is sitting at a 49.5. As always, I have predicted where you're going to go. So I'm going to see how those, how good my predictions are. But yeah, this is one of the 2 games I really don't like. So I'll send it over to you first because I'm just not super confident here.
Yeah, I'm not super confident either. Biggest news in this game is no Quinn Ewers for Texas, obviously. So that does bring this line down. But I'm still going to rock with Texas here. And I mean, I'll just start by saying I've not watched K State much, if at all, this season. So don't have a great read on K State. I loved K State last year. I watched what felt like every single game of theirs. I loved Adrian Martinez and Deuce Vaughn, and that offense they had rocking there. But yeah, this year have not kept up with K State as much as I would have hoped to. So can't give you too much on K State, but I do think Texas is still just the superior team, the better defense at home, laying a short price because Ewers is out. I don't love the injured player theory quite as much in college football as I do the NFL, but I do still think the value that we're getting on Texas because of that injury is just too many points, probably. Um, we talked about the injured player theory in the NFL show about how the team steps up around you. So I just think Texas is going to do that. Um, and K State has that 6-2 record, but I don't know if they're really on the same playing field as Texas this year. I just think Texas ultimately is just the better team here. So yeah, I think -4 is just a little bit short on this line. So my lean would be Texas -4 here. I think this could actually go up and over the total. Uh, just kind of a feeling I have. I don't really bet totals much in college football at all. So just my gut feeling. Like you said, though, not crazy about this game whatsoever from a betting aspect.
Yeah, we're going to disagree right off the start. I am on K-State in this game. I understand Ewers is out, but yeah, K-State's been playing pretty well right now. I have been following them a little bit as of late. They run the ball a lot. They run the ball. They try to run for 200 plus yards a game. Very similar to last year, and they had Deuce Vaughn. They do not pass a whole lot. So for that reason, I really like the under in this game, actually, 49.5, especially if a backup quarterback with Texas, and then a K-State team that just they're going to run the ball. Even if you stop them, they're just going to keep running it. So really like the under, but I'm just going to lean K-State. Again, kind of a fishy line, 4 points. Probably, you're not getting great value because of Quinn Ewers is out. But yeah, I think K-State's going to battle. They've actually looked pretty solid recently. They did lose to Missouri and OK State earlier in the year, but I think they've won 3 or 4 straight now. So they've been spanking teams too, like 41 to 3, I think was their last game against Texas Tech, I believe. So they've been spanking teams, just running the ball a lot. So I think they can control the clock, control the line of scrimmage. And I think this is going to be like a low-scoring, grueling game, like very low score. I'm thinking like 10 to 13. Texas barely pulls it off with like a field goal at the end to keep them alive one more week in the college football playoff. Because let's be honest, they're not making it, especially with a backup quarterback. They're not going to make it there. But yeah, I think it's going to be super low scoring. So really like the under. I think I might play the under. We'll not pick a side. We'll be playing a side, but for the purpose of our show, I will pick Kansas State in this one.
Did you have me on Texas?
Yep.
Or did you have me on K-State?
I got you on Texas.
Okay.
Next up, probably the best game in one of the best games, Missouri, who's number 12. I think they were number 20 in the rankings, but in the AP poll. Then the college football playoff came out, put them at 12. So Missouri's at 12. They are a 15-point underdog on the road at number 2 Georgia. That's weird saying. Over under is 56.5. So Missouri's only loss is to LSU. Pretty impressive. LSU we're going to talk about shortly on here, but I just don't really buy Missouri. And this is Georgia's big test. Georgia's kind of in the same boat as Michigan. They're getting, a lot of people are making fun of their schedule. They don't know if Georgia's real or not. Let me just get this straight. If you win 2 back-to-back national champions are the unanimous number 1, number 2, but they're unanimous on number 1, you are for real. You are for real. So I'm going to trust a team that's done it every single year, has the longest win streak in the country right now, longest win streak in the SEC history. So I'm going to take Georgia minus 15. It's pretty gross. I am also going to take the over here, 56.5. Georgia's been putting up some big numbers the last 4 or 5 weeks. I think they've gone over this total the last 3 games. I think close on the 4th. So Georgia's been putting up some big numbers. Their defense isn't as good as it was last year. Missouri's throwing the ball quite a bit. Their quarterback's not bad. So I think Missouri can put up like 20 points. But ultimately, I think Georgia puts up close to 40, 45, wins this game by 3+ touchdowns.
Yeah, we'll differ again here. I like Missouri plus the points. But again, just a lean for the show. I don't think I'll be backing Missouri, but yeah, like you said, Missouri only lost to LSU. They're a decent team this year. They won at Kentucky. And then, like you said, they were one of K-State's 2 losses on the year. And this is more of just a spot play for me. I think Georgia, even though Missouri is good, they're 12th in the country. It's not normal for Missouri to be this good. And I just think Georgia, on their schedule coming up, they have Ole Miss, 10th in the country, and then Tennessee, 17th in the country. 2 teams that are more used to being good teams in the SEC. So I just kind of feel like Georgia could somewhat overlook Missouri, even though, like I said, they are a pretty good team this year. It's just typically they don't have Missouri circled on their schedule. Georgia's also off the Florida game, which even though Florida's not nearly as good as what Missouri or Georgia or these SEC teams are this year, that's still always a big game, Georgia, Florida there. So kind of a sandwich spot here. Getting over 2 touchdowns would have me on Missouri. If you give me a 13.5 in this game, I'd be on Georgia. It's that close. Feel like I have one of those every single week here. But yeah, again, nothing that I really like myself to bet in this game, but for the purpose of the show, I'll take Missouri plus the 15.
Yeah, I actually had you on Georgia there. it's pretty ugly. So that's kind of why I put you on it. But yeah, you do like the big underdog as well. So it doesn't surprise me that much. I was just wrong a little bit. Next, I believe there's a name for this rivalry, but I don't know what it is. It's Oklahoma, number 9, at number 22, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma is a 6-point favorite on the road. Over under is 60.5. This is just like the Kansas State Texas game. Very ugly. I don't like this bet at all. So I'm going to send it over to you first. And if you know the rivalry name, go ahead and spit it out because I don't.
I don't.
Okay.
I just see the Oklahoma versus the Orange. I think the Red River
Right.
Showdown or whatever the Texas one is. But yeah, I agree. This is like the Texas K-State game. Just another lean for me, but I'm going to take Oklahoma State plus the points at home. Just as a lean. Yeah, really, I think the line is a little bit fishy. You're catching less than a touchdown with Oklahoma State, who, I mean, they've been playing well. They had those early season struggles, lost to South Alabama and Iowa State, 2 pretty bad losses really on the schedule there. Looked a lot better since, like you said, beat K-State, beat Kansas. But yeah, this line is just a little bit fishy to me. I know Oklahoma has struggled in their last 2 weeks. They barely squeaked by UCF and then lost outright to Kansas last week. The reason I probably won't bet this is because Oklahoma 7-1. They can't afford to lose again, and this is their last pretty big game on their schedule. They have West Virginia, BYU, TCU after this, none of which are ranked at this current moment, none of which will be ranked when they play them. So, yeah, I think this is like one last-ditch effort game for Oklahoma. They have to win this one and then can hopefully coast to a one-loss regular season, which is why I'd be hesitant about Oklahoma State. But yeah, I think just in a rivalry game, Oklahoma State at home, the line's just a little fishy. Again, if this were like over a touchdown, I'd probably want to lay it with Oklahoma. One of those lines that you and I kind of talk about where if we had more points to lay, we would almost do it because it'd make more sense. So yeah, slightly in on Oklahoma State, but again, don't love it enough to bet this one.
Yeah, first game, we are on the same boat here. I'm also on Oklahoma State. I actually had you on Oklahoma in that one, kind of for the reasoning you were saying that this is a big game for Oklahoma, like their last important game. They've looked crappy the last 2 weeks. This is like kind of an opportunity for a statement win. But I agree that it's just the line's too weird. -6. Oklahoma State lost to freaking Southern Alabama.
South Alabama.
Yeah, South Alabama, and then Iowa State back-to-back weeks. Terrible. And then I think they played, I don't think they played CMU this year. Maybe they did play CMU, but I think that was a close game as well. Just they don't look very good, to be honest. They just don't look good. Obviously, Oklahoma lost last week to a decent Kansas team. I understand that. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I was thinking Oklahoma should at least be a 7 to 7.5 point favorite here. The fact you're getting at 6 automatically puts me over at OK State. So probably won't bet it because I just don't really trust OK State enough to put money on them. But yeah, that it's in my opinion that's the grossest game on the slate. Well, keep that in mind because we got another game coming up. The next game. Yeah.
Well, a quick one last thing to say about that game. I feel like with 6s and 6.5s, I feel like just the casual bettor who logs into the app for the first time Saturday morning is like full slate. I gotta get some action in. They look and see number 9 Oklahoma by a touchdown. That's all we have to win by.
Yeah.
Let's bet it.
Right.
So yeah, the +6, 6.5. I usually get on the dog with that line. But
yeah, no, that's a great point. Great point. And that's the reason, like, who in their right mind, especially a novice bettor, is going to be taking OK State +6. Like, who's taking that? So I agree. Okay, so this game's probably uglier. Number 5, Washington. Is 3-point favorite on the road, traveling to the Bozos of Southern Cal, USC. Number 20, college football playoff loves USC because I think they're 24th in the AP poll. Over-under said I think it's got to be the highest of the year. 76.5 is the total in this game. I'm on USC. I'm going to take USC on the money line. I hate it so much. This team freaking is poverty. This team is trash. This team is garbage. This team shouldn't be in. I can't wait till next year when they're in the Big Ten. They're going to get their shit rocked in, caved in. But +3 for USC. Are you kidding me? They might lose it. Like what they were, what 21-point underdogs to Oregon, and now they're a
Yeah.
3-point underdog to Washington, and they've lost 2 games and should have lost last week in between those. And now they're only a 3-point dog. Give me USC on the money line. Washington's number 5 right now. I mean, they're feeling good. Beat Oregon, who's number 6. Like, I know they have a couple big games coming up, but Washington's feeling too damn good. No one, USC's garbage. USC freaking sucks. I hate that team. Lincoln Riley can go not living on this earth, can go somewhere else than that. But USC's winning this game straight up on the money line.
I kind of love USC.
Wow.
I kind of love it. I hate it and I love it. Caleb Williams already has half his foot into the NFL and the other half of that same foot out of the NFL because he's going to be out in about 2 years. The guy's a head case. Can't stand him. But yeah, what the hell is this line? It has to be USC.
USC's winning
I would
straight
take
up
them on the money line too.
Yeah.
I don't quite have the balls all the time that you do to just take money lines, even though it's only a +3 to an outright win. I'm going to be on USC plus the points. Maybe between now and Saturday, you can convince me to just grow a pair and take money line. But yeah, I mean, this line makes no sense whatsoever. I like USC. They have no defense. Give me the over once again because I literally just got off the phone with a buddy of mine. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to watch Michael Penix walk up and down that defense with an under ticket in my pocket. No way. Yeah, USC has no defense. Penix should be able to slice and dice them, but USC is somehow going to win this game. Yeah, I kind of love USC.
Yeah, I think I've lost every single USC bet I've taken. Every single one, I think. And I hate this team so much. But I think everyone hates this team because they keep doing the same freaking thing. They're the most, what's the word? We know exactly what USC is going to do. They're going to score a crap load of points, and they're going to let the other team, like you just said, walk all over them. Now you have Michael Penix Jr., who's averaging like 470 yards passing in the air against USC defense that doesn't have anyone that plays coverage. Yeah.
I mean, last week was a quintessential USC game against Cal. Like, I know Cal's better this year than what they have been, but Cal, really? 50-49? Really? That is USC to a T.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you look at USC's last couple games, especially against these big opponents, 50-49 against Cal. I don't have this right now. I'm trying to go on memory. 48-41 against Colorado. 33-35 against Utah. And there's another
32-34.
Yeah,
Utah.
32-34. And there's another one in there.
43-41 triple OT to Arizona.
Yep. So they're not going to blow Washington out of the water, but it might be a 1 to 2 point victory where it's going to be 66-64, something like that. So right. Yeah, I will be on both these plays. Yeah, I'm honestly probably just going to lay the money line on USC. I guess I'll do the +3, but I'll do the money line as well. We'll definitely be taking the over in this. I think the over in that Cal USC game after the first quarter was 96.5. And I was like, there's no way I'm taking that. Of course, it ends at 99. So,
right.
Disgusting game. All right. Glad we're on the same page with that one because I'm not going to lie, I had you on Washington. In that one. I know you like Penix. I know you like Washington. But, yeah, I mean, disgusting. You ready for
I didn't take the trap line on Arizona last week, and I'm kicking myself.
Yeah.
This is, the same thing.
This might be uglier.
Yeah, this one's gross. I hate Caleb Williams, but here we go.
All right.
Roller coaster. Are
you ready?
I will be tweeting during that.
Okay, good. Yeah, if you could say when USC goes down like 21-0, can you reverse jinx it for us?
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. You ready for the final game, the biggest game of the week?
Yes, sir.
All right. Iowa facing Northwestern over under 30.5. You thought Iowa Minnesota had the highest or the lowest total at 31.5. Nope, 30.5. Just kidding. Final game, huge SEC game. Number 14 LSU traveling to number 8 Alabama. Bama is a 3-point favorite. Over under 61.5. Go ahead. This one's tough for me, so I'll let you I'll let you figure this one out.
I want to hammer Alabama, but I'm nervous. Milroe is just not it. This is the first quarterback issue I've seen Bama have in a long, long time. And as much as I want to just keep saying, oh, this week he'll be better, another week of prep, another week of practice, another week as a starter, it's going to fix itself. It just hasn't. I'm still going to lean Bama minus the 3. I probably will end up betting Bama money line. Like I've told you, I think I've probably said it on the show, but I have close friends who are big Bama fans. I'm going over to their house for this game. I'm going to do a little grilling out and drinking and go roll Tide. So, yeah, I'm sure I'll have money on this one. My biggest angle here is Bama lost to LSU last year in that overtime game where LSU went for 2 after their touchdown and won it on the 2-point conversion. So, yeah, I mean, Nick Saban doesn't lose much. When he does, I think it sticks in his head. I think he's had this game circled since the very second they lost it last year. So, yeah, I just lean Bama. I think they have the better defense. I think LSU has the offensive edge, so it's better defense against better offense. Or Alabama at home with the revenge angle puts me on Bama. But, yeah, I mean, offensively, Alabama just struggles so much that it might get ugly here, but I'll take Bama.
Yeah, I had you on Bama. I'm going to be on LSU, unfortunately. LSU, they might be out of it 6-2. I'm not sure how the conference aligns in the SEC or whatnot, but I think they still have a decent shot at competing in the SEC championship, especially if a win here. They lost to Ole Miss, and then they lost to Florida State. Ole Miss, they I think lost by 3 or 4 points, 2 points, something like that. And then Florida State, they got blown out in the second half, but we're up, I think, by 10 at halftime, something like that. Completely collapsed in the second half. So they've had one close game and one bad half, and that's the difference between a 8-0 record, 8-0 record and a 6-2 record. So, yeah, I just don't trust Bama and Milton right now. I think LSU is going to take advantage of them a little bit. Jaden Daniels, is that his name? McDaniels, Daniels. I don't know how, to be honest, I don't know how JJ's a Heisman favorite. McDaniels' numbers are far better than JJ's. Daniels' numbers are far better than JJ's. He's a good quarterback. They got Neighbors, phenomenal wide receiver. I think second best wide receiver in the draft class. They just got a lot of weapons. I think this is going to be a close game. I actually kind of like the under at 61.5. I just think Milton's going to have some picks, some poor decisions, maybe some fourth down not converting on fourth. And I think LSU is going to struggle a little bit against Bama's defense. So I kind of like the under in this, but I do think LSU, I think they might win it outright, to be honest. So I'm going to take them at the +3. I won't be taking them on the money line, but I do like LSU to cover this. It's a revenge game for Bama. I get it, but I think LSU is better than 14 in my mind. I think LSU is honestly better than Texas and Oklahoma and Missouri. There's a couple other teams in between. In between Oregon and LSU that I think they're better than. So I think they're a little underrated because of the 2 losses, but I think they might squeak this one out at Bama again.
Yeah, I think it's probably whoever has the ball last gets a chance to go down and score. And it's gonna be a tight one. I hope Bama wins it, but we'll see. I won't have too many units on this one probably.
Yeah.
Like I thought I would at the beginning of the week. I thought I was going to hammer Bama, but probably not. Probably just hammer USC instead.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, great games. These Power 5 picks, great 5 games we have. Finally, some top 25 matched up games. So super excited for that. Again, I think if you got anything from the show, it would definitely be trying to get a deeper look at what the hell is going on in USC, because I think that could be a profitable bet. I think we both kind of agree that it's just ugly enough that it might be our favorite or the best bet to take. I think. Do you agree with that a little bit?
I agree. And I'll also say last time that I think we were this eye to eye with a play and kind of felt this strongly, it was Georgia against Kentucky.
Right.
No sweat. Super easy.
Unfortunately,
that was my biggest college bet of the year. I don't know about yours, but
yeah,
easy.
Unfortunately, I think this one might be a little bit of a sweat because there's no defense, but they could. Yeah, I mean, again, it's parting of the Red Seas with the USC defense. But yeah, I think that one, it's definitely, I would put it almost at the same confidence level as that Georgia Kentucky game. So I agree with that. But yeah, you got anything else to add before we close out here?
Yeah, last comment I'll make on that game, it might be like an NBA game where USC's down like 20 something in the first half, but you're like, it's not that bad because you knew they were going to put up 40 as long as they score here. So we'll see. I'll be emotional, I'm sure, but see how it goes. Yeah, other than that, got nothing.
Yeah, make sure you get.
How about that on the Steelers last night?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. I flipped to the Titans. What an idiot.
Oof.
Yeah, it was always the Steelers, wasn't it? It was always Derrick Henry over 71.5 rushing yards. I can't believe he rushed for 220. That was nuts, and they still lost.
I know.
Crazy.
And Deontay Johnson had 12 catches and finally found the end zone.
Yeah, about time, right?
Didn't see that coming.
Well, thank you guys for hopping on. We don't have any Big Ten games, unfortunately. Nothing good enough on the slate. Michigan's too busy cheating over there. But yeah, as we progress down for the next couple of weeks, as the season wraps up, we're going to have some big matchups. Again, this is a huge week in college football, but it only gets bigger, especially for the Big Ten. So make sure you keep watching these Power 5 picks, and hopefully you are profitable. If you did follow technically all of our plays so far, you would be just over the 50% line, or I think it's like 55%. It has to be profitable. That's right where we're at. So you're not up, you're not down, but I'm feeling bad, but good at the same time about this week. Just take USC and you'll be profitable. But thank you guys for hopping on, and good luck with your bets, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. See you next week, guys.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast. Better in Green.